half an inch. Half an inch, yeah. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Alright, what's up guys? A while ago I made a video about talking about how to set up your bands for your squats and your benches. Today we're going to talk about how to set up bands for your deadlifts. There's a couple different ways that you can go about this. If you have a deadlift platform, like a road little platform setup thing, or you do like a little makeshift DIY deadlift platform like I kind of have here, you can set it up in a couple different ways. That's a whole other video. So whether you have carabiners, band pegs, or however you set it up, you can obviously attach your bands to those. But if you do not have band pegs or a deadlift platform, you can loop your band through a dumbbell like this. So you place your dumbbell on both sides of your bar, and then just loop your band around the dumbbell, place it over your bar. This is something really key to note when you're putting your bands on really any bar, but really specifically your deadlift. You want to get a little fat grip if the band is going to be resting on the knurling of the bar. This is really important because the knurling is going to rip up the band. You definitely don't want the band snapping on you mid-set because that would just cause a disaster. But you also just want your bands to keep their integrity. You want them to last. So this is just something to help keep the integrity of your bands over time to make them last a little bit longer. But another way that you can do it obviously is just sliding it over the collar and having it rest on there. And so now we're going to talk about the different resistance types that you can set your deadlift up in different ways. So here, obviously I have double band over the deadlift bar, same here. But if you come over to this side, this is like going to be a lot more tension. So you really got to crank on the band. So you want to make sure that you have a good band. Buy your bands at Elite FTS. This has, technically this is called a quadded band. Bless you, big boy. One more. So we got double the resistance from the other side. So there's 4 bands that loop across this. You pull it over, loop it through your back one, and then bring it back over again. I really don't want to set it up because it's a pain in the ass. But this is the different ways that you can utilize bands. Bless you, buddy. Utilize the bands for your deadlifts. Like I said, whether you guys got a platform that you can attach the bands to, or you got heavy dumbbells that you just loop them through. Either way, this is an easy and simple way to set your bands up for your deadlift. All right, and lastly, there is one last way that you can set up a band for your deadlift. Maybe you're at a home gym, you just don't have heavy enough dumbbells, or you don't have a deadlift platform. Maybe you're at a commercial gym and you just don't want to be that guy taking up all the heavy dumbbells even though no one's using them. Take a band, what you're going to do is drape it over the bar, and then you're just going to step on it. Pretty simple. From here, deadlift up, you got your resistance. Pretty simple. And you can even do it with sumo. It's just obviously going to be a lot more tension on the band. But either way, really easy setup. If you, like I said, if you don't have really heavy dumbbells or a deadlift platform, to still get a band setup going for your deadlifts. All right, what's up guys? A while ago I made a video about how to set up chains for your squat and your bench. Today we're going to talk about how to set up chains for your deadlift. There's really only one, maybe 2 ways to go about this. You definitely could attach them further out, near your plates, or use easy straps or loading however you can attach your chains to the bar towards the end. But I really don't like that because you're playing with the chance that the chains are going to creep underneath the weight, and when you're setting it down, you could set it unevenly, which could just lead to a cause of injury, uneven starting position, things of that nature, and it kind of just gets in your way and just gets in the way of what you're trying to get out of the set if you're doing more than just one single rep. So I like to set up the chains in the middle of the bar. Sometimes it's hard to get it right where you need it, but that's what you're kind of the game you're playing with when it comes to putting chains on a deadlift bar. So a couple ways you can go about this. Elite FTS makes easy straps that can be put onto your bar. You can clip a carabiner or run the chain through the loop of those. Really easy way to set those up, not going to damage the bar at all. But another way that you can go about this if you don't have those easy straps is to just get a fairly big carabiner, and that's just going to go over your deadlift bar. This is just going to essentially limit where the chains are going to start. So you're going to pull your bar, and the chains don't really start until you get up to about mid-shin. And then obviously you're going to face the accommodated resistance on the rest of your plate. Another easy way that you can go about this is to simply just take your chain, split it in half, and drape it over the bar. It's that simple. That is just obviously going to put a tinge of extra weight at the start. You're going to feel that resistance hit a lot sooner than with the carabiner, right? So still the same principle. You're still getting that resistance right away. And it is going to be right where your feet are typically going to be. If you pull sumo, your feet will be a little bit further away, so you're not going to deal with it. Yes, the chains are going to hit your feet. Deal with it. Don't be soft. Okay, if you're using chains for your deadlift, don't bitch about the chains hitting your feet. This is just an easy way to set it up. If you have other ways to set it up that you have found success with, let me know, because this is the only way that I have found any true success with. But these are the ways that I go about utilizing chains for my deadlifts. I don't do it a whole lot very often, but when I do, I typically just drape them over the bar. Really simple, really easy.